नास्ति vidya samam chakshurnasti satya samam tapaha नास्ति raaga samam duhkam नास्ति tyaga samam sukham.
Today we are going to sit with one of the most quietly powerful verses in all of Sanskrit wisdom literature. It comes from the Chanakya Niti and it goes like this. Nasti vidya samam chakshuhu, nasti satya samam tapaha, nasti raaga samam duhkam, nasti tyaga samam sukham. 4 short statements. There is no I equal to knowledge. There is no austerity equal to truth. There is no sorrow equal to attachment. And there is no happiness equal to letting go. Let's slow down and taste each word, because in Sanskrit the etymology often carries half the teaching. The verse is built on a drum beat. Nasti, 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 nasti. There is not, there is not, there is not, there is not. It's a superlative by elimination. The sage is sweeping the table clear of every lesser candidate. First, nasti vidya samam chakshuhu. Chakshuhu means the eye, from the root chaksh, to see. Vidya means knowledge, from the root vid, to know. The same root that gives us the word Veda. So, there is no I equal to knowledge. Think about what this means. A person with perfect eyesight but no understanding is functionally blind. They walk straight into disasters they literally watched coming. The physical eye sees objects. Knowledge sees meaning, consequence, reality. Knowledge is the true organ of sight. Second, nasti satya samam tapaha. Tapas comes from the root tap, meaning to heat, to burn. It's the inner fire of discipline, fasting, vigils, hard practice. And satya, truth, comes from sat, which literally means that which is. Truth in Sanskrit is not opinion, it is alignment with existence itself. Now here is the radical move. Chanakya says no austerity, no fasting, no heroic discipline equals simple truthfulness. Why? Because austerity done for show can still feed the ego, but living in truth burns the ego directly. Every honest admission, every refusal to polish your image is exposure to reality's fire. That friction is the highest tapas, and it's available to a shopkeeper just as much as to a monk. Third, nasti raaga samam duhkam. Raaga comes from the root ranj, which means to be dyed, to be colored, to be stained red. Attachment literally dyes the mind. When you crave something, you no longer see it as it is. You see it through the color of your craving. And dukkham, sorrow. Here is my favorite etymology in all of Sanskrit. Dukkha is thus plus kha, a bad axle hole. Picture an ancient chariot whose wheel is mounted on a badly drilled hole. Every mile of the journey becomes a grinding, jolting misery. That is suffering, not the road but the fit of the wheel. And notice what the verse does not say. It does not say loss is the greatest sorrow, or poverty, or even death. It says the craving itself is the sorrow. Events merely trigger suffering. Attachment manufactures it. And fourth, the stunning inversion. Nasti tyaga samam sukham. Tyaga From the root tyaj means to release, to let go. And sukham, happiness, is su plus kha, a good axle hole. The same wheel, the same road, but now the axle fits and the chariot glides. Happiness, etymologically, is frictionless movement through life. The ordinary mind believes happiness comes from acquiring. The sage says it comes from releasing. And crucially, tyada does not mean abandoning the world. The Bhagavad Gita is careful here. It means acting fully while releasing the clench around results. You can hold wealth without being held by it. Letting go doesn't take the wheel off the road. It takes the grinding out of the wheel. Now, who is telling us this? Not a hermit in a cave. Chanakya, also called Kautilya, was the political strategist who built the Mauryan Empire, the author of the Arthashastra, arguably the most hard-nosed realist in Indian history. When the ultimate pragmatist reports that renunciation is the supreme happiness, this is not wishful idealism. It is a strategist's field report on what actually works. And the verse is older still. Nearly the same words appear in the Mahabharata, spoken by Bhishma on his deathbed to King Yudhishthira. The whole world's wisdom keeps arriving at this same doorstep. The Buddha taught that suffering arises from craving and ceases when craving ceases. That is the second line of our verse exactly. The Stoic Epictetus said, "Wealth consists not in having many possessions, but in having few wants." Socrates walked through the market of Athens laughing, "How many things I have no need of." And modern psychology has caught up. Researchers call it the hedonic treadmill. Every acquisition gives a brief spike of pleasure, then the baseline reasserts itself. Therapies like acceptance and commitment therapy treat fusion with our cravings as the core pathology, and diffusion, a near perfect translation of tyaga, as the cure. So, how do you live this verse starting today? Let me leave you with 3 questions and 1 practice. Ask yourself, which single attachment most closely predicts my bad days? And does my suffering rise and fall with the grip, not the object? Ask, where am I performing discipline while avoiding the harder austerity of one honest conversation? And ask, in the decision before you right now, am I seeing or am I died? The practice is simple. Each morning, name one thing you are gripping and say, "I will act fully. I release the grip on the result." Each day, perform one act of exact truthfulness that costs you something small. And each evening, take one moment of pain from the day and trace it backward, not to the event, but to the grip beneath it. Then write one line. The sorrow was not that thing happening. The sorrow was my grip. And whenever pain arises, train yourself to ask not what happened to me, but what am I gripping? The first question makes you a passenger of events. The second hands you the axle of your own chariot. Knowledge is the eye. Truth is the fire. Attachment is the grinding. And letting go, tyaga, is the ride becoming smooth.
नास्ति विद्या समं चक्षुर्नास्ति सत्य समं तपः नास्ति राग समं दुःखं नास्ति त्याग समं सुखम्